Get the questions going for Coach Sheridan. Let's start with Charlie here on the far right.
Yeah, hey coach. When there's an interception, what do you kind of teach your quarterbacks to do in that situation? And kind of a two-part, what do you make of Jalen's effort there on the pick six?
Yeah, certainly, the number one priority anytime you turn the ball over is to get the guy down. And so there's different things and fundamentals that you're trying to teach the players. You're always trying to front the ball up to try to make it change direction to try to help the pursuit, but obviously we didn't do a good enough job in that moment.
Let's go to Nick here on the front right.
Yeah, what are some of the coaching points when you look at the film in terms of Jalen running the ball and what you guys are doing from a blocking standpoint in those moments?
I think there was a little bit, at times, a little bit too much lateral running that occurred, and so when you watch the tape, just encouraging him to be a little bit more north-south in some of those moments, just to have a little bit more production. There's a fine line there. Obviously, he's trying, he's making instinctual plays and trying to create, plays. He's trying to create explosive plays, but I think there were times in the game where he could have been a little bit more north-south and a little bit more decisive that way when he ran the ball.
Stay up front left here to Katie.
How much was the offense limited on Saturday by what the offensive line was able to control or not control on the line of scrimmage?
I don't think that we were limited based on that. I thought we didn't execute well enough, and that was all of us. And obviously it was disappointing, but we all played a part in that, coaches, players, and it was not one position or the other. We all didn't execute well enough, consistently enough, down in and down out to be able to stack plays to put our team in a position to win. So I wouldn't. It didn't have anything to do with one position or the other. We all played a part in that.
Go to the back right of the room here, Ryan.
Coach, I'm wondering if you have or what's going to be the message today to the offense to flush this, to focus on the Iron Bowl, which is a huge game after a game on Saturday didn't go your way.
Yeah, I think we don't meet with the players today. We obviously visited with them yesterday to recap what occurred and what's ahead. And I think the one thing about this group that has been proven is the resiliency, the grit, the toughness, the pride that they have to respond. And we've seen that out of this group. I think the leadership has been outstanding, and I expect that to be the same moving forward.
Go to the middle of the room to EG.
Coach, what is your evaluation of the in-game adjustments made by the offense?
Well, Saturday not good enough, right? I think that's a fair assessment. And so, like I mentioned before, none of us did a good enough job, to put our team in a position to win. And that certainly starts with me. And we need to do a better job.
Let's go to Scott on the back left.
In the most recent 7 games, if you take out LSU, Jalen's averaged about 26 yards a game rushing. He's still the best athlete in the field at any point in time, probably. How do you balance that with getting that production up, but also obviously realizing you're more dangerous to defend, getting other guys involved? There's kind of a dynamic.
Yeah, I don't think there's any doubt. I think the more players that you have involved, the harder you are to defend. I think that's a fair point. And so each week you evaluate, who you're going against, what they're doing schematically, what the personnel matchups are, to be as difficult to defend based on your personnel and what you do, on offense. So, that's something that we consider each and every week is how can we get more players involved, more touches to guys, to best attack the defense. And so that certainly will be the case this week as well.
We have time for a couple more questions. We'll start with Alex here on the right.
Obviously one of the least productive performances of Jalen's career. I'm just curious what you saw from him after the game and then yesterday as well, just his response to it as a guy who really takes a lot on his shoulders.
He's a very prideful player. He takes accountability in the things that he could do better. Obviously everyone was disappointed, coaches, players, everybody. There's a lot of pride, there's a lot of time, a lot of effort that's poured into each and every game, each and every season. And so I thought his response was to be expected. He has a lot of pride in his performance. And so, like I said before, the one thing I know about him and the group is the resiliency, the pride that they have. They pour into the work. It's a hard-working group, and I know they'll respond the right way.
Anything else for Coach? Let's finish up with Katie here.
Jalen talked after the game about how the drops hurt the offense. Just kind of what did you see on those drops? Maybe was that uncharacteristic to those guys?
Certainly, I mean, I that wasn't something that we expected being an issue going into the it's not something that has been an issue to this point or one that we expect moving forward. And I think that goes back to what I said is, you know, everyone played a part, you know, in our lack of execution and our lack of production. And so, you know, looking forward to the opportunity to get back on the field tomorrow and improve and put our best foot forward and play our best game on Saturday.
All right, thank you, Coach.
Thanks for your time.